Hi, hello, good morning all. Welcome to class 8, chapter number 1 from geography, that is resources. Now, what are all called resources, types of resources, etc. we are going to study one by one in our today's class. Let us see the topics. First question is, what is a resource? हम किसे resource कहते हैं? And what are its characteristics? Characteristics means is features. Anything that can be used to satisfy a need is called as a resource. So if anything, if it satisfies our need, is called as a resource. Now, for example, if I am not able to read properly whatever it is written on the screen, then it will be help out, or you can see this one. This will be help out in easing my, or I can say, difficulties, and while using this I can read properly and this will become a resource for me. Okay, in the same way I am having book with me, or I can say I am having, or I can say diary with me, and I wanted to write something, but without this or pen I am not able to, or I can say, do that, and this pen becomes a resource for me at that moment. Okay, now you understood the point. Resources have a value, so it has a value. इसको value भी है. Value means worth. Yes, if it is with this, if I am able to read clearly whatever is written on the screen, then it has a value and that is worth for me. Some resources become valuable with time. For example, metals have economic value. So मतलब कुछ चीज़ें ऐसी होती है उसका कोई वैल्यू नहीं रहता, बट समय के साथ उसका वैल्यू बढ़ती जाती है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल मेटल, or it may be gold, it may be silver, it may be copper, all they are considered to be as metals and they have economic value. Economic means in terms of money it has huge value. The prices of gold are, or I can say, increasing day by day. That means it has economic value. Time and technology are two important factors that can change substances into resources. So we will see that example. Substances कोई भी है वस्तु को वो resource में convert कर सकते हैं. So what time and technology are two important factors that can change substances into resources. Both are related to needs. For example, in the classroom we need the sitting, or I can say sitting arrangement with the help of the benches and all. We need that, isn't it? Without which we cannot, or I can say, listen or attend the class properly. That is a basic requirement. So wood is lying in the forest, and by cutting the wood, what we can get? Wooden log, and by cutting or by converting that wooden log into a piece of furniture of whatever our requirement. It may be a bench, it may be a table, it may be a chair. So at that time that wood, it what is called, its value increases, isn't it? And it becomes from a substance into a resource. तो resource बन जाता है, isn't it? पहले अभी तो देखो modern technology ऐसी है कि earlier you people used to come to school and we used to interact directly. Now with the, or I can say, technology, improvement in the technology, advancement in the technology, we people are meeting online with the help of the electronic gadgets. So the electronic gadgets, it will have no use if there is such technologies or such inventions are not available, or we cannot meet on online also if we don't have this electronic gadgets. So its value is increasing day by day. People themselves are the most important resource. So why to consider that other resources? People, they themselves are the important resources. How? with their ideas, with their knowledges, with their invention, etc. People, they are using their brain. With that brain, that some inventions are happening. Okay, with that invention, that many changes are taking place in and around we people or us. For example, the discovery of fire, it led to the practice of cooking, and the invention of wheel, it resulted in the development of new modes of transport. So, with the development of, or I can say with the invention of fire, so people started cooking the food. So, primitive human beings, they used to eat the roots or the fruits, isn't it, as raw. Now people started cooking because the invention of fire led to this, and the same is as far as the invention of wheel is concerned. With that, what happened, that new modes of transports are developed, whether it is the road transport or whether it is the or I can say railways or whatever it is. Now the types of resources we need to know. There are basically three main types of resources available. One is called natural resources, second one is called human made resources, and third one human resources itself. So broad three category, one is natural, second one human made, and third one is human resources. Now what is natural resources? Natural resources are drawn from nature and used without modification. We are not modifying it. Okay, whatever the air that we breathe in, that is as it is available in the nature in the same way, and the same way we are consuming it or we are using it in, isn't it? And the same one is that water. Water, I can say that nowadays we are using that water purification and all, and we are modifying little bit, isn't it? But the thing is that the naturally these things are available and we are using it without much modification. हाँ, modify करते हैं but without much modification. Then natural resources, they are further classified into different groups on the basis of the level of development, origin, stock and distribution. Okay, these you should not make any confusion over there. Types of resources only three: natural, human made and human resources. Now natural resources, again it is subdivided on the basis of the level of development, origin, stock and distribution. इसका further classification है. First one, the level of development. This is the first, you can say, the type of natural development. Now the level of development are again, they are divided into actual resources and potential resources. Then origin is divided into biotic and abiotic. Stock is divided into renewable and non-renewable resources, and distribution is divided into ubiquitous and localized. See children, there is no confusion at all. If I see the last slide, natural resources, they are classified on the basis of different or I can say group. They are on the basis of the level of development, origin, stock and distribution. Now again each and one point, level of development, ये वाला पहला वाला था, level of development, और origin second था, stock is third and distribution is the fourth one. Okay, now I have given number 1 only to the level of development, but origin is second, stock is 3 and distribution is 4. So level of development में again there is subdivision on actual resources and potential resources. We will see in detail. On the basis of origin, abiotic and biotic. On the basis of stock, it is renewable and non-renewable, and on the basis of distribution, it is ubiquitous and localized. अब देखते हैं one by one ये क्या है. First of all, as I told you, on the basis of level of development, they are divided into actual resources and potential resources. If we see first 2 points, that is absolutely about those. Now what is meant by actual resources? actual resources are those resources whose quantity is known. मतलब कितना है वो हमें पता है, कितना, इतना क्वांटिटी है, क्या लार्ज है कि स्मॉल है, कि क्या क्वांटिटी है. क्वांटिटी मीन्स साइज या जो अवेलेबिलिटी, दैट वी नो. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, रिच डिपॉजिट्स ऑफ कोल इन रूर रीजन इन जर्मनी. जर्मनी में एक रिच डिपॉजिट्स ऑफ कोल है, बट हमें पता है कितना है और इसका एवरीथिंग वी नो अबाउट प्रिसाइसली. देन द सेकेंड वन, इट मे बी द पेट्रोलियम इन एशिया. We know that Arab or I can say southeastern countries are famous for the petrol and petroleum product. We know that exactly कितना है. And also black soil of Deccan Plateau and Maharashtra, कितना है, क्या availability है, that we know. That is actual. Actual मतलब कितना है, that is called actual. Actually कितना है, that is actual. Second one is potential resources are potential. हम बोलते हैं ना, you have that, okay, this time you have tried to give better answer but you have more potential. आपको और भी ताकत है, और भी क्षमता है. That is word क्षमता is for potential resources. Are those whose entire quantity may not be known, कितना है हमें उसके मालूम तक नहीं रहेगा, but are not using at present. May not be known and are not using at present. सो हमें पता कितना है करके उसको अंदाज़ा भी नहीं है और हम प्रेजेंटली उसको यूज़ भी नहीं कर रहे. दीज रिसोर्सेज कुड बी यूज्ड इन फ्यूचर. फॉर एग्जांपल, यूरेनियम डिपॉजिट्स ऑफ लद्दाख. We know that in Ladakh uranium deposits are available, but we don't have that much enough technology to extract that resources and converting it into the our needs. Then biotic. Biotic is again second one. It is not on the basis of development, it is on the basis of, if you see, origin. It is based on the origin. Biotic means all living things like plants and animals. It is also a resource. And abiotic, it means all non-living things like soil, then rock, mineral. They are also a resource. They are also a resource. Then next one, on the basis of stock. Yes, on the basis of stock, it is divided into renewable and non-renewable. We'll see. Renewable resources are those which get renewed. Renew होता है, तो हमें पता है कि जब हम when we are using टीवी का जो पेमेंट जब आई कैन से एक्सपायर होता है, then हम रिन्यू करते हैं. सो मोबाइल डेटा ख़त्म होता है तो वी रिन्यू इट, isn't it? The same thing is that those which get renewed quickly, but we are talking about natural resources. Some are unlimited. For example, solar and wind energy, they are renewable. मतलब जैसे कि रात को अगर ख़त्म होता है कि सोलर एनर्जी, सुबह जाके वो रिन्यूएबल होता है, isn't it? So maybe isn't it? It's a simple example we can say. So at night without the solar or without the sunlight, the generation of solar energy is not possible. But as soon as the sun rises, again it renews. That is called renewable resources. Then non-renewable resources are those which have a limited stock. Then once the stocks are exhausted, exhaust मतलब ख़त्म होना, it may take thousands of years to renew. For example, coal, petroleum, etc. Yes, stocks are limited. Once that stock is removed or used, then it may take several years to renew it. हाँ होगा, renew होगा, but इसके लिए बहुत लंबा टाइम जाएगा. Then last one is on the level of development. It is ubiquitous and localized resources. Resources that found everywhere is called ubiquitous resources. For example, the air we breathe in, so it is available everywhere, whether you go to the desert area or whether you go to the plateau area. Then localized are those resources which are found only in that particular area or at that particular place only. It is called, you can say that local food. Local food is available, isn't it? लोकल फूड मीन्स अगर साउथ में जाते हैं तो लोकल फूड आपको इडली डोसा एवरी गली गली में मिलेगा. वही लोकल फूड आपको नॉर्थ इंडिया में जाके नहीं मिलेगा, आपको वहाँ पर वहाँ का लोकल फूड मिलेगा। जैसे कि दिल्ली में जाएंगे तो दिल्ली चाट या छोले भटूरे वो सब मिलेगा, वहाँ का जो फेमस डिश है। द सेम थिंग इफ़ यू गो टू और आई कैन से इफ यू आर रोमिंग इन द स्ट्रीट्स ऑफ गुजरात, then as a local food you will definitely get khaman or this sev puri, all these things you will get without any hesitation or any restriction, or yes. Then the second one is human made resources. When origin form of natural substances has been, it is not as, has been changed to make them a resource. For example, technology, I am going to explain, this is actually omitted, I don't know how it is included. Number of quantity and ability, it may be the physical or mental ability of the people is referred as human resource. Education and health help in making the people a valuable resource. Now I will come to the human made resources, that is what I was explaining. So the previous slide, but in detailed form. Sometimes natural substances become a resource only when their original form has been changed. Okay, when their original form has been changed, then it becomes a resource. For example, iron ore was not a resource until people learned to extract iron from it. So iron ore is not a resource, but what is resource? Iron. So where it is iron? Iron is there in the iron ore. What you have to do? You have to now extract iron from iron ore. Iron ore से iron को जब आप separate करते हो तब जाके that iron or iron becomes a resource, not the iron ore. Some people use natural resources to make buildings, bridges, roads, machineries and vehicles, which are known as human made resources. Of course, who are doing that? The animals or the plants? Anybody else is doing? No, buildings or bridges or the roads, machinery, people are doing, humans are doing. For that, what is required? Architecture, architect is required, engineering skills are needed, isn't it? Technology is important and labors are important. With the combination of all these things, what can be happened? Or I can say these resources can be called as human made resources, that has become a resource, okay, with the efforts of human beings, and that is called as human made resources. Technology is also a human made resources. Third one is human made resources. We are now coming to the third part of main types of the resources: natural resources, human made resources and human resources. Human resources and human made resources. People can make the best use of nature to create more resources to when they have the knowledge. Yes, that is the main reason that nowadays what happened, people are now having, or I can say, enough knowledge that they are now, or I can say, doing deforestation, and in its place we can see the shopping complexes, malls and all. Yeah? Right. Why? Because now people are having knowledge and they are utilizing the knowledge, and for that they are imbalancing the nature. People have the knowledge and skill and technology to do so. That's why human beings are a special resource. In a way it is special, and if I see the environment imbalance, it is not. People are human resources. People themselves are human resources. How? With their education and health in making the people a valuable resources. Yes, by providing education, you people are learning the maths or the science and the skills and the art and all. By that one basic things what you are learning here, you are utilizing it in your future life when you are becoming an engineering, scientist, doctor or somewhere else, and then you are utilizing that brain, or I can say in the development of the nation. Then the human resources, they become a resource only with the help of education plus with good health. Improving the quality of people's skills so that they are also able to create more resources, known as human resource development. And what is human resource development? Human resources development means improving the quality of people's skills. Already they are having the skill, उसको और sharpen करके, improve करके through training or through seminars, etc. so that they are able to create more resources. They are called as human resource development. Let's see the conserving resources. What are the way or how we are able to, in what way we can conserve or protect our resources? Using resources carefully and giving them time to get renewed. So careful use. Second, the usage of 3 R's, rupees nahi other, R's is another way of conserving resources. What are the 3 R's that we are going to see at the end? And they are reducing, reusing and recycling. That symbol we are going to see. Sustainable development is known as a balancing, that is balancing development. It need to use resources and also conserve them for the future. Now the important point, principles of sustainable development. What are the principles of sustainable development? That is respect and care for all forms of life, whether it is the animals or whether it is the plants. So respect for all forms of life. Second, improve quality of human life. To improve the quality, quantity is not important, quality is more important, how healthy you are. Third one, minimize the depletion of natural resources. The natural resources are nowadays depleting, or it may be the water level is going down, or it may be the forests are being cut down. So we have to minimize it. Then change attitude towards environment. We should have positive attitude towards environment, and Swachh Bharat Abhiyan is going on, keeping in this view, point of view in mind, that we should not, or I can say put the dustbins or dusts or I can say unwanted things on road, especially plastics and all, and we have to minimize the usage of plastics. Then enable communities to care for their own environment. Yes, we people are the people, or we should have that what is called care for our own environment. This is all about the chapter. This is recycle, reduce, then reuse, then recycle. First of all, reduce करने के लिए कोशिश करो. आप से फॉर एग्जांपल प्लास्टिक है, इसको यूज़ करने को रेड्यूस करो सबसे पहले. अगर आपको यूज़ करना ही है तो वही प्लास्टिक को, अगर कंटेनर या प्लास्टिक को बार बार यूज़ करो, दैट इज़ रीयूज़ करो. उसको एक बार यूज़ होने के बाद थ्रो मत करो. मेक इट सेवरल यूजेस, एंड उतने भी अगर नहीं होता है तो उसको रिसाइकल में डालो, सो दैट ये क्या है, सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट इज़ पॉसिबल. विद this is I can say, you can say the flow chart of the types of resources, mainly whatever it is written in pink: natural resources, human made resources and human resources. They are actual resources, potential resources, then abiotic and biotic resources, and renewable and non-renewable resources. This is a small flow chart of the types of the resources. With this, we have come to an end of Geography chapter number 1, and in the meantime read the textbook and underline the important things. Take care and bye bye, and stay home and stay safe.